But
yeah, mate. Fucking cool, melon.
I'm
Oh,
cool.
yeah, mate. Yeah,
Cool.
I'm chilling.
Cool.
Yeah, Steve's got a cool melon. Motherfucking chilling with a cool melon.
What it does, what is poppin', everybody? My name is 6C. That's what they call me this week.
Oh, 6C. Well, I am Mad Cunt Nose Dog.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, I'm Dan, aka Fresh Trim, aka I'm
Oof.
also Australian, aka I'm joking, I'm actually British.
I like that.
Okay.
That was
I
deep.
like that.
That was deep. Oh,
Thank
welcome
you.
to
Thank
episode.
you. It was deep.
It was very deep. Deep pause. Welcome to episode 116. Look at that. Starting big. Starting big.
Balls
Starting
deep
big.
right out the gate. I like
Right
that.
at the gate. Dan taking
Oh,
it
dear.
there.
There you
God
go.
damn it.
Oh,
What's
dear.
good, cunts? We missed last week, eh? Fuck. Whose fault was
Fucking
that?
did that.
Whose fault was it? Who are we blaming? Who are we pointing the finger at?
No.
Who
That's
are
mine.
we? Because
That's mine.
I'm blaming this guy. I mean, this guy right here.
The middle
I'm
guy?
blaming him.
The middle guy?
Hey,
I'm gonna blame him.
whoever this guy is, hey, if it hurts, if it hits, it hits. I'm sorry.
I'm out
It's
here,
you.
fam.
I kind of blame
I'm sorry.
Notion. I kind of blame Notion too, to be honest.
I don't think that's how the story unfolded, kids.
Well, look, you and your facts can fuck right off. All right?
On it.
Fucking-
Jesus Christ. I
Yeah.
can explain all of that after, but I like to go at the end after you guys tell us how you guys have been. So sorry about
Ooh.
last week, y'all, but we are back in business.
Mm.
So what's cracking? What's good? What's news? What's happening on this seasonably warm February? No,
Warm for you.
unseasonably warm. Oh, not for you. Yeah, fuck.
Warm for you.
It was
No, not
10
for me.
degrees
It's still-
today.
It's 10
Sweating
degrees?
balls
Oh
today.
my god. Wow. For me, it was like -3, I think. It wasn't that bad, but it was pretty. It wasn't 10. Definitely wasn't 10.
Oh, man.
That's unfortunate. And
Yeah.
I send
Better
Said
my...
it
than
was
30.
10 over here.
Well, tell us, what's
That's
news?
shit.
What's cracking, Dan? What's cracking? What's happening? What's news? What's
For
going on?
me, what's happening on my side? What's happened last week? Honestly, it's just been a lot of work. You know, we're rolling out more social media shit for the podcast.
Which
Making
we'll explain shortly.
TikToks.
Yes.
Yes, making a lot of TikToks. I've got quite a few ready for TMF, for BAOS. And yeah, it's a lot of time because you'd think that making the TikTok was quick, but making it is fine. It's just finding the TikToks and making sure it's relevant to the brand and shit, which is very like it's the most time consuming part of making the actual TikToks and shit. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's all right. It's not too bad. I've got to make 3 more today out of how many? I've made around 8 today, I think. So I'm gonna make. Well, it's 8 overall, so I've got like 3 more. So it's not too bad. It's not
Okay.
too bad. But other than that,
Yeah.
go on. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, since you're already talking about it, if you want, you could just explain, because this was all kind of your idea, so it probably makes more sense that you explain it too. I had that on my next item to explain after we've all talked about our thing, but it kind of feels like good. So if you want to talk about more stuff that you're up to, do that. But you can also explain the bad habits social and the new TMF TikTok and everything, and the thinking of all of that.
Okay. Well, essentially, we made a new Insta account dedicated just to the podcast. So we're gonna
Wait. That needed
Good move,
some
good
apex.
move.
Good move. And essentially, we're gonna put stuff on it throughout the week, or the Insta account throughout the week, which will essentially be the topics. Because we usually have a notes and we usually run through some topics before we jump on air. But this time we're going to upload it all onto social media and then we'll speak about it. And it's literally just there. No like, oh, we have to speak about this, and that. It's all going to be there. So there's that. And
what's the handle?
and the handle is at Bad Habits Pod.
Make sure, go
There
follow
it is.
Bad Habits Pod.
Mhm.
Every week we're going to be posting, obviously, the clip from the podcast to let you know. But yes, like Dan said, all the news and stuff, which was, once again, this is Dan's strategy, and it's a very sick idea, so that it kind of like, separates TMF, the label, which was just sort of the banner for the podcast. And now the podcast has its own platform to post stuff like that. So we can be a little bit silly and like whatever, and just post like the shit we want to talk about and engage with people and stuff, and just to sort of keep it in its own little home. I like this because it's taking the pod to the next level as far as like the seriousness. It was something sort of casual when it started, and we just, once you're 116 episodes in, it's like, all right, we should start to kind of ramp it up a little bit. And also want to shout out your new clip tactic, like you made. If everyone saw in the Bad Habits pod, we just started that off with last episode's thing, which Dan re-edited in a more enticing way. So we're going to be doing that moving forward for all the different pods, and they'll be on TMF and Bad Habits together. So definitely go follow at Bad Habits pod. It's fire. And then continue, please. That's what to say that.
Yeah, that's basically it, really. Like the new social media shit and
the TikTok.
new. Oh yes, and the TikToks, which we are posting, the TMF TikTok exactly.
Which is
trying to think.
It's at the movement fam, just like everything else.
Just like everything else.
Consistency.
Right, yeah. Consistency, same handles. But yeah, essentially we're gonna be posting a lot of TikToks which reference the podcast a lot, and they're more like a way to learn about our music interests outside of the podcast and our dynamic as a three in terms of our preferences regarding music. So there's going to be a few more that's going to be uploaded. So it makes more sense. It makes way more sense when it's uploaded. It's hard to explain. Where it's quite easy when you obviously see it there on TikTok. But there's a few coming. There's a few more coming. So it's good.
I love it. I think it's a really sick idea because it's like, for people, a quick example, there's those, people might have seen those little like, what do you call them? It's not a filter as such, but they're like a game that you can play where you move your head to make a decision. So there's one that's like a rapper bracket
filter.
Yeah. So I mean, Dan did that. I might actually, once we finish the pod, I might just go get the TikTok phone and just do it as well. So we have one each, and we're all, obviously going to make very different decisions, which is kind of funny. And Dan's coming up with different ways that we can sort of like play into like the TikTok trends. We'll post it all on the
for the kids,
of course. Would we post it on the TMF Instagram or the Bad Habits Instagram?
Ooh, I think Bad Habits. But if you want to put it on TMF Instagram, you can. I think it works for either.
Yeah, we could either do a remix or, because probably actually no point remixing unless it's popular stuff. So we could do a collab post with some of them as well. I'd be down for a mix. We could just do some tests and stuff.
We'll test.
Yeah, but it's fun. I think it's cool. I think it just takes the podcast to like a different level.
Yeah,
and it's like
should be fun shit.
Okay, very cool, man. So thank you for all that, though. It was cool. You've been really like spearheading all these shit. So we're just like, cool. We're figuring, you come up with all the ideas, and sometimes we're like, yep, cool, let's go. Or sometimes we'll tweak it a bit. But either way, it's like all coming from your ideas, man. So thank you. It's very, very cool.
Thank you.
Nice one, Kennedy.
Was there other things? Because I know I kind of cut you off with
other things I've been doing. Honestly, I've been watching a lot of football. I've been eating and living. We are still top of the league, which is good. It's getting very tight, though. It's getting very tight. But other than that, we're good. We're playing second place in the league on Wednesday, which is also my birthday. So hopefully, if they win on my birthday, against the best team in the world. So we'll see.
Huge fan.
Birthday week, yes.
Birthday week for Dan.
I'm also trying to organize shit to do for my birthday, which I'm not entirely sure. So,
are you going somewhere still?
No, I was gonna fly, but I'm not going to. But I might go to trampoline park instead. So,
you take the day off, yeah.
Yeah. I'll take
good. Yeah. Thanks for telling me. But yeah, no, you should definitely take the day off. I don't I feel like it's almost like a given for birthdays. I think everyone should have the day off. I don't think you should have to work. Unless you really want to, but I don't know. It's kind of whack to me. Just, I don't know. Like, even if you sit at home and fucking jerk it, like, just don't work.
Don't work, yeah, for sure.
Take some.
And the other thing I'm trying to do
Ava goes to
see, she was my inspiration, Ava, of course.
Just Ava. If you know, you know.
Yeah, it's if you know, you know. I've been trying to book it, but it's like they're not very flexible. So I might have to rethink on what I'm going to do. So it's kind of like, you have to book an hour and you have to book now. But if you don't know if the other 9 people want to do an hour, then I don't know what you can do. So I'm just like, bro, I just might say fuck it and just do something which is way easier to book.
What about like go-karting or something?
Sick.
Go-karting's mad expensive, and I don't even know where to
Really?
do it here. Yeah, it's mad expensive.
No shit. Okay.
And
What else
yeah,
is
I
fun?
don't know. Honestly, what else is fun in Montreal? It's so
Yeah,
difficult
I'm having
to
to think.
fucking. I don't know what to do in Montreal, so I'm just gonna.
Honestly, it's why we didn't do shit there either, because you just don't know the landscape and what they have and don't have. Is like I always found it a little more
Yeah,
difficult to make those. I feel you though. Yeah, it's tough. There's got to be
it's
some
very
cool
annoying.
shit. Like it's almost like for birthdays, it's more. I don't know. We're like, I'm really bad at that type of stuff. Like about life things, I'm
Mm,
horrible at it. But there's got to be some
mm.
like cool, fun stuff that you could do. That's like along those lines of like a trampoline park. Honestly, bro, like I know I'm
How
old
many
and
parks are
shit, but
lit?
I would like absolutely rock the shit out of that. That'd be fun as fuck. Cause you just be, I'd probably come out there with a
100%.
fucking sprain or something, but worth it.
It's worth it. It's worth it
Yeah.
for sure. And like, I might just book it and just say fuck it, And then I'll send a link to whoever wants to come. Then if you want to book, you book. I'm just
I
gonna book
think
the
that's the
two
best
hour thing,
way.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you'd
because
be like,
I'm
cool, between this time.
debating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still debating if I want to do an hour or two, but
Honestly, think
it's like
about it. You might
it's
all
like a
that
nine
sort of
dollar difference
jumping.
anyway.
Okay. I guess it's
But
more like,
it's
would you
not
be
just
just
the
exhausted?
jumping.
Oh, okay.
That's the one thing. It's not just the jumping as well. It's kind of like they have the basketball shit. They have dodgeball, and they have like normal trampoline. You're just bouncing around doing whatever bullshit.
So you can play like the
So
trampoline basketball.
yeah,
Oh,
Dunk on cunts heads for sure.
fuck. Oh, yeah,
yeah, you
book
would
two
dunk on
hours and
people.
and then cunts could even rock up a little bit after, no? Like if worst case, and you just
Exactly.
bags the time or whatever, and they just pay the same thing.
hmm
See, that's
That's
kind
what
of
I'm
cool.
thinking.
Yeah, I like that. Another
So I
idea
might
that just
just
hit me.
do that. Yeah,
I
go
like
on.
that. I like just bowling or something. I know
Bowling is good, but I just
it's
don't
not
really.
riveting, but I'm just trying to
It's
think of
not
indoor
riveting.
activities you can do in Quebec in the winter that definitely is going to be there. That is pretty easy and not crazy
Curling.
expensive.
hmm Fucking curling. Yes, yes.
Have
That's
you either of
exactly
you
what
guys
I
done
want to do.
curling?
Yes, and it
Never.
is so shit.
I loved it.
I've
No,
never
it's
done curling.
sick. I
Oh my
did it in
god.
BC, and it's like it's a different skill set because you're not like you have one shoe that's like
It's like
got grip.
lawn bowls on ice.
It's like long bowls are nice, but you got to do more shit because you have to glide.
It's
So
true.
you've got one foot to the side to keep you like balanced, and then one foot's the slidey one, and you've got this thing you got to push it, and then you've got another cunt that slides in front of you with the broom to try and like clean the ice so that it doesn't like go off track and shit. It's like
And you have to
way
scream like really, homoerotic things like hard
yeah.
and
Go harder, go
really,
harder, push it in,
really
push it in. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
balls. It can
Push it
get
in,
quite
push it in,
dicey.
please. Fuck me, fuck me.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You could be a little more explicit. I thought
Yeah.
curling was like way more fun than it had any business being. So
Interesting. Where the hell did you? Oh, you did it in BC.
I did it like 2004. It was like a part of a whatever. I did this like 10-day trip around the Rockies, and with like it was like $500 for the whole trip, and it was a bunch of backpackers type of thing. Where it was all like the, brokey shit at the time, but it was hella fun. And then they had these different activities every different town you went to. So one of them there was like horseback riding, which was like crazy expensive. So me and a bunch of other people went and got like bikes and rode around because I didn't also care to horseback ride. But then they had like rock climbing and fucking curling was at one place and like all these different things that were pretty dope. So I never experienced anything like that before. And I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it, curl me up, bitch. And it was just way more fun than I expected. Brad knows you're right, like it's lawn bowls on ice, but it's a little more complicated. And there's some skill involved and you're probably going to get annoyed and stuff at first because you got to get used to like the physical movement, but it wasn't that hard. And I'm a uncoordinated dickhead, so if I could do it, I feel like most people could.
True.
That's pretty fair.
Very true.
That's pretty fair.
Yeah, that's fair assessment. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went curling with the Lost Craft crew for a staff party a couple of years back, and shit was hilarious.
Did you were you good at it? I feel like you're usually pretty decent at anything you give a crap.
Yeah, I would say solid down the middle. I didn't really. I had like one go and then went up for beers, and by the time I came back, I missed my turn. Like I wasn't really in it. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I had a couple of piffs, and I was like, yeah, I was half in the bar, half one toe on the ice.
Gotcha.
guy who was like really into it. I won't name names or nothing, but the dude who was really into it, like acting like a sick cunt, like ended up falling on the ice and hitting his head on the fucking ice and having to go home early. It was like crazy.
Wow.
So curling is dangerous, kids.
Did you celebrate when that happened?
Nah, of course not. But we all had a giggle afterwards because he stood up. You know, if when a cunt falls on the ice and hits their head, everyone goes, ooh. If you've got a heart or a sense of anything for anyone, you go, ooh. Yeah, that noise is like, oh, yeah, fuck, it's the worst. Anyway, melon splitting. But, you know, cunts was cool, so we had a giggle afterwards. Jesus. But cool curling melon. Is wild. Cool melon, eh?
Could you say cool and melon in the space of 2 sentences? So I just want to check.
Cool.
Yeah, shouts to curling. So look that up, Dan. Look that up. I bet you could slide.
I'll look it up. I'm looking at other things to do, but half the things in Montreal is restaurants, bars, clubs, and I'm just like, bro, fuck this.
It's kind of all there is to be.
Literally,
honest, like, yeah.
Get tobogganing.
Come up to fuck that.
Yeah.
Do that. I could do that right now if I wanted to.
Go snowshoeing. Forest.
I don't want to leave my house.
When it's that cold, like you just, you want to avoid the outdoors. I mean, curling it'd be indoors, but it'd still be kind of chilly because it's on ice. But
chilly,
not dying. And like Rich said, there's like a bar. Yeah. And I think you can get your drink, you can put your drinks on the side while you're playing, and because you're playing teams and stuff. You team up, so I don't know how. I can't remember what the minimum is per team. You can probably play 1 versus 1, I guess, and then whatever teams you want, because it's like lawn bowls. You just gotta, there's like the thing in the middle. You gotta, whoever gets the closest to that dot or whatever it is wins. So all right, curling it is. All right, curl it up.
Curling it is, honestly, because I'm looking at this shit. I'm on Reddit, fuck it, I don't even want to look at it, it's pissed me off. I don't want to I want to go to Toronto. Fuck it. Let me just go to Toronto, how much it is. How much
how much what to get a train down here?
Yep.
If they had that bullet train, they're talking about doing the bullet train that's like 2 hours. Like,
that
if you think about
unreal.
Some cunts would drive 2 hours from Oshawa to downtown Toronto and back each day to work, whereas you could take a bullet train from Montreal to Toronto and do the same thing and work and live in a province that's cheaper and then work in Toronto and get that Toronto money. That's kind of crazy.
That'd be pretty game changing.
Pretty sick.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, it's probably 800 years away, knowing the way they move out here. But if Japan can do it,
shout out to magnets.
Fucking shouts to Japan. Love it. All right. No, what's going on? What's good? What's cracking? What's news?
Mate, everything's good. Everything's blessed. It's been fucking a busy couple weeks. Just steady on the mountain bike stuff. Today is a full month since I started uploading the actual videos on Notion MTB YouTube. Give me a shout and a follow. Give me a subscribe and a like on YouTube, Notion MTB. Just hit 35,000 views today, and that was pretty cool. So it's exactly 30 days since the fucking popular.
Killing the game.
So that's up there with the most views I've had on anything digitally. So that's really cool. And it's something that I just been chipping away at. So yeah, consistency is key, kids. That's a fucking gem right there for you. So yeah, heavy on that. Just dropped my joint, but nice. I also spent nice one, Gary. I just today spent a couple hours finishing off the Valentine's Day mixtape, volume 15, which I know we're going to speak about probably next. Actually, we can kind of segue.
Yeah, it's literally the next thing.
Perfect. So 15 years in a row, the Movement Fam's Valentine's Day mixtape. It's going to be coming out at
tonight,
midnight, or tonight, ASAP. Whenever we finish this, we're going to get into it, finalize it. C and I have an exclusive song each on it, when usually we just do one or the other. Whoever's got something on offer will pop it on. So this year we've got something from both of us, which is a lovely present. There's something from C's Relentless. Is it deluxe version?
The OG. It's on both.
Okay, cool. So yeah,
you can say what it is.
Okay.
And talk about your song too.
Wait till morning.
Yep.
Featuring, what's the current name for that artist? Black Lotus. Dope as.
Previously known as Andrina Mill, who you might know from like Drake songs and shit. She's fantastic.
A very good voice. So definitely look forward to that. And I have a song coming out as well. It's called Understatement, and I'm really excited about that. I get on my singing fucking kind of Drake style, kind of R&B softness, but it's still a hip hop track, but it's just, got that V-Day vibes to it. So yeah, I'm really excited and nervous and pretty pumped for that to come out, to be honest, because it's been a while since I've had anything really come out other than that house beat that I put out, which is not really a song from me. It's just a production bop ting. But yeah, pretty excited to have something out, man. Fuck.
It's very cool, and you're going to drop that as a single, on streaming platforms and everything in the next couple of weeks, and let it sit as an exclusive on Valentine's Day for a bit on the mixtape.
Exactly right.
And this particular volume, so if anyone's been rocking with us for a minute, we've had this is volume 15, so we've literally done it 15 years in a row, which is pretty crazy. And when it started, I don't know if we ever told the story, but the quick version is we're in Atlanta in 2008. And we're with our homie DJ Grain, who was a part of TMF at the time. He was connecting with people out that way and all sorts of shit. And basically, it was his idea. Him and Nosh came up with the idea of the Valentine's Day mixtape in the car in Atlanta. And then that was in 2008. So then we did the first version in 2009, first volume, sorry. And then Grain did the first two with us. And then he kind of we didn't really talk a ton over the years. Life takes you in different paths, how it goes. We're on the other side of the world. Then we moved over here, and I guess I don't know if he was still doing music or whatever, but late last year he reached back out to me and wanted to get involved with the next one. I was like, "What's kind of good timing because the 15th kind of feels like a good volume to get in with." So he reached out. So he curated probably 85% of the songs, and me and Nosh added a few at the end. Tiff put in her selection. Me and Nosh got our own songs. I swapped one of them out for something else. So, small things. So we got 15 songs for volume 15. And it was just cool to bring it back to kind of the beginnings of the tape. So we put that all together. I'm excited. And it was good because all the songs I was like, all right, let's make... Because I typically do the curation. I would do the vast majority. Maybe Nosh would add a song or two. Tiff would do the same thing. I don't know if you ever did, Dan. On the tape, no?
I haven't before.
No, okay. So then, I just thought that if Grain just does this one, made more sense. You want to get involved, it makes more sense to have him curate most of it. And he did a really good job. There's some really fucking nice songs on there, man. I wouldn't have selected any of these songs, and very impressed. I didn't even know most of the artists, which is what I like. I didn't want to put out here's he included a Drake song. Yeah, it was it's just more interesting for people to kind of listen to this tape. It's just you put it on, it's a vibe every year. I think at this point we're pretty consistent. The tapes have been great. I know that we bump the tape a lot, and we go back and listen to the older years and stuff as well, very often. So
awesome.
I mean, we're genuinely fans of what we put together. This is last year. I never forget because I put one song on last year that was on the year before. I'm so mad at myself. I think about it once a month. I think about it. I know, but I bother me so much because it's the one mistake out of the whole thing. Anyways, so yes, that'll drop tonight. Is February 13th, so we'll probably drop it tonight. I might do the email blast tomorrow. We wanted to do it a bit earlier, but communication. I got sick, which I'll explain in a sec. It kind of slowed a few things down. So, but we got there, so we're good, which is great. So that'll come out. Sorry. Did you have other things you want to mention? And I'll just quickly yap and then
I've just been I've mixed a couple of songs for some clients, and I mastered a 4-track EP for Trilogy. So that's going to come out at the end of this month. So that's cool. So yeah, bit of mixing, bit of mastering. I haven't made any new beats, but I've got a bunch on the website, so notionbeats.com. But yeah, everything's been consistent, man. Just keeping it going.
Love it. Love to see it. Beautiful things.
Break it down, mate. What have you been saying? Tell the kids.
Everything is blessed in life, except about 2 weeks ago, I woke up. You know how you get about to get the flu or get sick or whatever, and you know it for a few days. You're like, oh, fuck, here we go. I just woke up randomly with one of those eye-watering sore throats. So it was 2 weeks tomorrow. So it was Tuesday before last. And I was like, fuck. And that was bad because I have podcasts always set up for the beer podcast, and I had a trip planned to Rochester, New York that weekend. So I woke up on the Tuesday. I was like, no, I can shake this. I can get rid of it. And I woke up the next day and I was like, nope, I cannot. So canceled the trip, moved the podcast. Well, postponed both of them. Everything's happening this week now. And on the Wednesday, this is a fucked up shit. So the flu, normal. It is what it is. It's annoying, blah, blah, blah. But I woke up on Wednesday with these fucking chest pains, which obviously paranoids me based on our dad passed from heart things, so heart issues always get me shook. And it was like all on my chest. I was like, fuck, this is weird. And the pains weren't really going away. They got a bit on the shoulder, a little bit in the back. And I was like, this is strange. On the Thursday, Canada has this thing called Health 811 where you can like chat with a nurse and then they get someone to call you, whatever the fuck. So a nurse spoke to me and they asked all the questions and like, hey, I want to call you an ambulance. You need to go to the ER. And I was like, well, slow down, Missy. I'm not taking an ambulance. Like, I'm in pain, but I'm not like dying. But when it comes to chest pain, what I've learned is the medical system doesn't take any like risks with that shit. They just send they go straight to the hospital type shit. So I ate dinner and then I just took an Uber up to the hospital, which I've never ever been to the hospital for myself before. It was the first time I've ever had to do anything like that. I try and avoid medical things as much as possible. I'm just not a fan of things. I just would rather things go away. I just find it a hassle and whatever. So
Thanks.
Rock up to the ER, boom, boom. They sign in pretty quickly. They do a blood test and do an ECG where they stick the little shit all over your chest and take the little heart wave thing. And then I waited for about maybe 3 or 4 hours in the waiting room. And then they called me into the back. And then I waited like another hour there. And I'm like, I'm just leaning over. I went at 10:30 at night. So I got to about like 4:15 in the morning. And then I overheard, there was a few other people around me and in this secondary waiting room. And then I heard this lady who was in like a motorized wheelchair. And she's like, hey, do you know how much longer it's going to be? I've been here since 8 p.m. I got there at 10:30 p.m. So 2.5 hours after this lady, she's still waiting. And she's like, I'm only supposed to be in this chair for like 3 hours at a time. And at the time, she'd been there for like 8 hours.
Oh,
and then I heard them mention that there was an emergency. And I saw a doctor walk around with his hands up like that. You know how when in movies when they had the scrub, so he was like, didn't want to touch nothing. So I was like, oh, I'm never getting seen. And I'm so uncomfortable. Like they left a little butterfly drip thing in my arm so I could just easily take more blood if they needed to. So I went up to the nurse. I was like, hey, I don't think it's going to be a while. I got to go, man. And she's, what's your name? And put in, she's like, oh, you've got blood tests and stuff. A doctor needs to see them. I'm like, it's okay. You can deal with the lady. She's like, oh, I'll get him to sort it out. I was like, okay. So I sat down and waited like 15 more minutes. I'm like, I'm so antsy. And I'm just like, hey, I'll rip this out of my arm in the Uber. I don't give a fuck. I got to go right now. And she was like, ugh. And she came in like very kind of aggressively, took the drip out of my arm. And I just walked out. So I didn't like the attitude. And I was like just dying. So I was like, I regretted doing that. I'm so like going to the ER. I'm so mad. So I tried then. The next day, I managed to talk to this clinic up the street. I was like, let me just go to a normal GP. I don't have one here. So I spoke to this lady. She gave me the forms. She said they're taking new patients. So I filled it out, sent it back, and she didn't call me. So then she said they weren't open over the weekend. I was like, okay. Dealt with the pain through the weekend. And it's still here right now. It's been 12 days, nearly 13 days straight, 24/7 pain. All of my back, can barely get dressed. I've never been in any sort of pain like this in my entire life. So if I'm a little flat, that's why. I just took Advil, but it doesn't really work. I'm just hoping it works. I call her on Monday, and then she's like, yep, cool, come in the afternoon, and she got all the stuff. So I rock up to the appointment, and then they're like, oh, you're not in, there's no appointment here for you. Like, the chick didn't even make the appointment. They go, oh, she was a student, and she's gone, and she's never coming back. So I was like, so I kind of just walked out. I was furious. So that was last Monday. That was a week ago. And then I was like, you know what? I'm better now. I don't give a fuck. I'm getting better. I'm not dealing with medical system. I'm not doing shit. So then basically the next day I started drinking again. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So the flu is basically gone, I guess. But the pain is nonstop. Nice. And I'm like, I didn't know what to do. So I end up going to that medical place today. And I just don't, man, I have a severe distrust of this shit. I just don't trust them because doctors have this, whilst obviously Western medicine is magical at times, they've got a myopic view of the world. And they can't see through anything else. They only have these certain protocols and the things, blah, blah, blah. So I just feel like they miss things inherently by the way that the things are set up.
I agree so much.
And yeah,
Craig, my AirPods run out, so I'm going to join on my laptop.
Okay.
So I'll literally be 2 seconds. I've got it all loaded up.
Just dive right back in.
Perfect.
Legend. So then I went today and she was asking me questions and stuff. And there's Daniel joining right back in. There he is, young man. Beautiful. You good? Can you hear?
There we go.
There you go.
Yes. There we go.
So then she did this thing where you put the little clip on your finger and you test your oxygen level. And she said my oxygen level was low. And then she goes, this is, I don't know if I even talk about this on air or whatever, but she said, I think it might be pericarditis, which is, because she kept saying she thinks I had COVID. I'm like, well, I didn't have a test. And I had all my taste and smell and shit. And I live with my partner and she didn't get sick. So like COVID is this big transmissible thing. I imagine that she would have got it too. So then she wanted me to go to an ER. I'm like, there has to be, in a modern society, something before that where I can make an appointment and go. I'm willing to pay the private cost to go over and above the public system and to be like, cool, you pay $300 to visit to go see someone to check it out. Like, how does that work? And then she just kind of like said, no, yeah, you like kind of like talked around it and basically kept saying you need to go now to emergency. You need to get it checked out because your oxygen thing's too low. And I'm just like, I'm not going, bro. I'm not going to any fucking emergency. Like, think about that, right? Imagine if I go there and I don't have an emergency. It's not an emergency. I probably need to get some shit checked out, but it's not an emergency. And like, that's what's wasting the system. That's what I realized today. And also kind of in a bit of a bad mood coming into this. I'm just so annoyed at that experience that like, you wanting me to go to an ER and then I have to be expected to sit there and wait on these uncomfortable ass chairs around all these people coughing and spluttering for hours and hours and hours and hours for when I don't have like a knife or a knife in my back or a broken leg or some bullshit. Like that's what emergency was. Fuck, I fell off my bike and I broke my whole shit. I need to go to injuries. I didn't have an injury.
So many low key things there that are chalking it up. I just get what you mean. That's like
it just seems so stupid, bro. So I don't know. We were looking before, like just before we got back, and this was a little bit later for this because Tiff was helping me look. I feel like the whole thing is set up to fail, and I would rather just see what happens because I'm like, it's such a hassle to get anything fixed that I'm like, I don't even want to deal with it. I'd rather just fucking cross my fingers and hope to the universe that everything works out. Like it's so much of a hassle. I absolutely refuse to go to any emergency thing. But I'm trying to find a private GP that can give me a referral to another private clinic or something like that. That's a cardiologist or something that needs to look at some bullshit there. Like, so now I got to find a private clinic that's taking new patients that will see me in the next couple of days. So I'm like, I don't know. The whole thing feels completely hopeless, like absolutely hopeless. And it's like, I feel for people who have like real serious shit. Like right now I'm in relative pain. Nothing like absurd, but around this time of night it kicks back in. So I'm just sitting on the couch and I can't move. As soon as I move, I'm just like, it's like shooting pains everywhere. And I don't know what to do. So I'm like, imagine like people who have got real shit wrong with them. What the fuck are you supposed to do, man? The whole like socialized medicine, I'm not sold on it, bro. And haven't been since I moved here. I feel like it's everything's very, very overrated. And I just don't understand why I can't there's not a better solution. Like there just has to be a better solution for this stuff. I just don't get it. So that has completely consumed my last couple of weeks. It's interesting when you're not feeling good, you're not healthy, you realize how important the health stuff is, but then you feel despair because there's no solution to it. Like there's no, it just feels like it doesn't matter what I do, or like, there's no way for this to work out for me. Like it's crazy. So
it's
shame.
Fucking wild.
Yeah, man, fucked up. So I don't know what I'll do. I'll keep you all posted, I guess. But yeah, hopefully it just fucking goes away. Is what I'm hoping for. But I imagine not after 12 consistent like back-to-back days, consecutive sort of days of the pain keeps moving around. I just can't do shit. And I'm going to Rochester this weekend, which I'm actually looking forward to. Got shit planned. Got a podcast on Thursday for beer stuff. So like I don't know, man. I'm just gonna ride it out. Like fuck it all. If anyone's listening and they are in Canada or in Ontario and they understand a better way to maneuver around the medical system, I'd love to hear about it. I don't know if there's anything else. I just feel like illogic rules everything. Like everything's bureaucracy and nothing is logical. It just doesn't make any sense. So it's all so stupid. So fuck all of that. Yeah, seriously. Man. So I'll be fine. Now, what's been happening over the last couple of weeks? Should we? Well, Beyonce's going on tour. They announced it
Beyonce's going on tour
last week. Yes, the Renaissance tour. I think she had a pretty big thing because I guess she had the Grammy wins. I think she dropped a new remix or a new song, like a remix of like Cuff It or some shit like that.
There was a remix of Cuff It. I saw it. I didn't listen though, but I saw it somewhere. I think I was making something on Instagram and I saw it suggested.
Yes. Tiff played it and I was like, is this the same song? She goes, no, they re-sung it and changed some of the words like Craig David used to do, like real remixes type shit. So that's interesting. So we got tickets to the Toronto show in July, which is cool. Tiff really wanted to go. I like Beyonce. I'm not like a huge fan or nothing. Like a lot of it's not aimed at me, but there's some slappers in there. So I think the stage show will be fire though. I think it will be from those clips that we saw on from Dubai. This shit looks pretty dope. Yeah. So I'm excited to check that out this summer. And then yesterday, speaking of shows, was the Super Bowl. Sports. Yes. Shouts to sports.
Sports teams.
And then obviously the Rihanna halftime show was what everyone's talking about, being that she...
It's the only reason why you actually watch the sport, so you can check out the halftimer.
Yeah. Thoughts on the halftime show? What do you guys think? What's the vibes?
It was good.
It was good, yeah. It was good. Yeah. That's the... it was good.
Like, it wasn't the best one you've ever seen.
To say.
Yeah, nothing bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best one you've ever seen, but like...
Exactly.
Yeah. Stage was cool.
It looked like Super Smash Brothers.
Sick. It literally looked like Super Smash Bros. Yeah, I've seen so many memes. It's so funny.
That's such a good one. Yeah,
with all the floating stages and shit. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's just back-to-back bangers. You're like, man, she got some fucking hits, eh? She does all right.
There's a few songs I definitely forgot about, and I was surprised. She's definitely got some under the tuck heaters.
Yeah. And obviously the big surprise was she had her sort of like these whatever overall things that were open, and she looked like I was like, is she like got the belly that's from the last baby? Like not going on, but obviously they announced she was pregnant with the second kid, which is trippy because I guess a few people have done it that way. I know Beyonce did it on the Grammys. I think when she was first pregnant. There's someone else that did it too on like SNL or something. So it's like a cool little way to do it. And then apparently she did this. I don't know if you remember. There was like a break, and then one of the dancers handed her like the Fenty Beauty thing, and she just touched up the makeup. And apparently the searches went up like 800-900% online for the brand because of that, which was super smart.
That's genius.
And then they're dropping all the clothes from the performance that the dancers were wearing, I think, this week on there too, which is very cool.
The white puffer joints?
I think so, yeah. Which is
sick. That is sick.
Which is pretty
There's
smart.
that meme about people running. It looks like a bunch of it's like Nick Cannon seamen running. Have you seen that?
I have not seen that, but that makes complete sense. Oh, Nicholas.
It is ridiculous. The internets with a Z absolutely are amazing.
Undefeated.
So ridiculous.
I love it.
But yeah, that's what we should all be wearing for next Christmas, I guess.
Let's cop in that Fenty.
I mean, I'm down.
They're making shit for dudes now, so fuck, mate.
I'll even wear the chicks version. I don't give a fuck, pause. You know what I mean?
Fuck that. Let's fucking go. There was a bunch of Kanye references too. I saw on Reddit. They said she did like Run This Town and All the Lights. She was wearing some clothes or something from Donda 1, so I don't know exactly what that was. Something to do with the red. I don't know if it was shoes or if it was for something else. And then the dancers apparently were wearing the Yeezy shades. And there's one more thing. Oh, and then the floating stage was an homage to the Pablo tour. So they were saying that, because apparently Rihanna was standing up for him during the early stages, right before the anti-Semitic stuff. She was, right before the Jew comments. I shouldn't say anti-Semitic because of practical historical things that, whether people are Semitic or not. But she was standing up for him until that shit came up. Then she kind of like publicly chilled out, but that kind of seemed like a pretty big support for Ye, which I thought was pretty dope.
It's pretty cool. Definitely a good look.
Cool.
So yeah, it was a pretty dope little show. But speaking of Ye, So what they're saying now, so I know we talked about this last time, I think, where I was bitching about what Adidas was doing with the Yeezys, where they were going to take out the insoles and remake them and then drop the shoes at the same price. That's what all the leaks were saying, all the photos had come out, but the photos didn't have the edited insoles at all. So what they're saying is now, they're sitting on the stock. They're not talking about how much worth of stock, but they're saying it's a $1.3 billion loss if they don't sell their existing Yeezy stock. And the fix for it that the CEO or that someone came up with was going to cost them like $214 million, which I imagine is the insole thing. Imagine that. You got to go, okay, how many size 12s do we have in that one? Okay, so we're going to print 800,000 fucking gray insoles and remove the thing. Like, it's like, that's what the fuck they're doing. It's just so stupid. And it's just such a waste. Think about the waste. Like, taking all those insoles out, and that whatever the material is probably isn't very environmentally friendly. So then you're just causing waste. So like, yeah. Oh, you did too. Yeah, you did.
Trash.
So like, to me, that's so like. Once again, it comes back to, I think, I can't remember if I said this, but just fucking be like, all right, guys, look. I feel like almost anybody, if a company's set to lose that much over some moral thing, it's not like he did something to a child, or like where it's sort of cool. He said some shit that's pretty fucking questionable. I get it, but it's not like Adidas were the most fucking like morally superior fucking company of all time either. With two of them, the two guys, the brothers who started it were in the Nazi party at the time. Like, you can't. I don't know. I'm just saying you can't, like, what is it? The throw stones in the glass house type shit. Just do what you got to do. Make that billion, and then end the partnership, or renegotiate terms or something. I don't know, but like, shut the fuck up and stop being a pussy. And I heard that how like Beyonce has the Ivy Park collab with Adidas. I think that whole shit makes them like 40 million, whereas this is just 1 year's worth of shoe that's like 1.3 billion. That's how much of a stranglehold Kanye has over this shit. And that's how like important that brand is to their bottom line. So I just kind of feel like, I don't know.
So Adidas needs Ye heavy.
Exactly what he said. And them dropping him was probably very rash, and maybe they were just like, oh, you said on Drink Champs that we can't drop you, watch us. And they did that, and then this what happens. And then now they're facing a 1.3 billion. I mean, like, no... imagine the shareholders. Like, you think the shareholder pressure, because they're a public company. So, like, imagine if you had a whole bunch of share, like the LVII. You know how it's usually like, obviously there's people like us who would get like $1,000 worth or whatever, but then there's people who have
$1 million worth
or tens of millions dollars worth or whatever the fuck, who that tens of millions are gone down significantly because of that decision alone. So I imagine the shareholder pressure would be pretty high as well. So it's interesting the way they're approaching all this. So hopefully, yeah. So I don't know. I'm not like fucking holding my breath or anything, but yeah, maybe they might smarten up, get their shit together, drop some Yeezys. Let's fucking go. And on the off chance that it is the last time to get stuff, I'm definitely gonna cop. Like, if there's something fire, I imagine there's gonna be a bunch of fire.
So I'll get something for sure.
Yeah. And I feel like I don't know, I kind of almost feel like because of this, there'll be way more renewed interest, and therefore they're going to be harder to get. But
yeah, I think it'll be. It was already fucking hard anyway. But
it was already difficult, and I had like level 1 of the creator thing, and level 1. Hang on, what's the good level? Maybe it was level 4. Whatever it was with the top amount of. It was like the Code Creator Club. Level. Yeah.
I think it's. So you have Challenger, Playmaker, Game Changer, or Icon.
That's what I have, Icon status.
And Icon, you have 10,000 plus points.
I have like 40 something. But Jesus for how Christ. Long? I told you I booked well.
True, yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense.
I wonder if I'm going to lose those points. I was going to check, but fuck it. I didn't want to know. Like, I wonder if by the time they make the decision, are all my points going to go, and therefore I'm not going to maintain that level, and therefore I'm not going to be able to get the fucking shoes. Fuck, piss me off.
Who knows? You'll probably keep the points, but who knows?
Hopefully they'll do it soon. So that's that. All right. sad news. Dave, who is known as Trugoy the Dove from De La Soul, passed away yesterday, I believe, and I think he was 54, which is extremely young.
Wow.
Been seeing a lot of tributes, like very heartfelt tributes. Like I hadn't seen this level heartfelt shit for a bit. Obviously,
That's crazy.
Like, yeah, like De La, I know they're legendary.
You're a top bloke.
Yeah, everyone said he was just such a good dude. I think that's definitely a part of it. It's harder when like if someone's a good person and they pass and shit, aside from being a legend. So it seems like they really changed a lot of people's lives. I was never the biggest fan. The only album I have is Stakes is High, which I fucking love.
Very cool album.
Yeah, a great album. I never really heard the rest, to be honest. I don't know why I never looked into it. It just wasn't always my thing, but that album was money to me. So that's pretty sad.
Yeah, it's definitely not cool.
Did you guys get into De La at all at any point?
No, I didn't really know much about De La Soul.
No.
Honestly.
Definitely was into, obviously when you were playing Stakes is High, like I was definitely hearing that. And then from there, I kind of dabbled in the rest, but I didn't play it regularly. So, and also my housemate that I live with in Melbourne was DJ and also heavy into that kind of shit, like Jurassic 5 as well. So there was a bunch of that kind of stuff that I heard a lot, but I wouldn't play it on my own, but I thought it was still tight, you know what I mean?
It's still cool, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fucked up. Yeah, fucked up, man.
Speaking of on this topic,
yes.
Did you see Tupac's estate are reportedly dropping 4 unreleased records?
Albums or songs?
Records, so I believe it's just songs.
Okay. Not surprised. I imagine he has 800,000 fucking songs.
He must have so many. But yeah, apparently there are 4 previously unreleased pre-death row records.
Okay.
So
older stuff.
Proper old stuff.
When's that dropping?
Honestly, I don't know. I believe it's just rumors. It's just rumor mill right now. So who really knows when it will actually be released? But this article was when was this published? On the 11th. So only a few days ago. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see if this actually surfaces.
Okay.
And also, I keep on seeing a lot of, it's just on 6buzz TV though. I don't really see if it's actual, like, if there's actual substance to it. But I see that apparently a lot of rumors regarding Drake having to testify at XXXTentacion's trial, which is a bit interesting.
Weird, eh?
It's a bit weird because I know they had that beef, but maybe they just they really want to find the reason why he died. I don't know, but it was weird. I don't know. I keep seeing rumors about it.
I saw there was.
I doubt he'll even do it, but like,
yeah. There was someone who was the accused person that was saying Drake had nothing to do with it, and I think that was kind of one of the things to like brush it off. I think it all stemmed from that time where like X posted like a story or something that said like if I die, it was at Champagne Puppy.
There was multiple things. So there was that, but you know about their beef before that, about how he stole, essentially he stole. I think is it
Look
No
at
Long Talk? Look at Me is essentially KMT. It's exactly the same song. The flow is the same.
Yeah,
everything is exactly the same. And X blew off that, and I think Drake was upset at that. And then at the time, I know X was super young. So he like posted a picture of Drake's mum on Instagram and was like clowning her or something. So then that happened, and then I know after his death, you know that Drake song "I'm Upset."
Yes.
He says on that song, he says SMS XXX. That's the only time I ever shoot below the neck. So I'm just like, I know he wouldn't just out himself like that, which would be weird. Nobody would out themselves like that if they did it. But like, I see why there are rumors surfacing as to why he's linked with it. But I do also think it's a stretch at the same time. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a reach.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's a little odd to sort of be like, you know, I was reading what they actually did, and these dudes all actually were, you know, cruising around looking for someone to rob that day, type shit. So it's like it seemed relatively random. So like, it seemed a little silly to kind of bring them into all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Particularly after all this time over some stupid lines and stuff, but Yeah,
I don't know.
pretty fucked up. Interesting.
I don't know, but
Okay.
yeah, like speaking of Drake, anyway,
Mm-hmm.
the interview he done and his son,
Yes.
which was super interesting.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
On
Um,
Barstool, Sunday
yes,
Conversations.
Caleb
It
Presley.
was yes.
Ridiculous.
I
It
have
was
never
so
seen
funny.
any of his stuff before. That Caleb Presley guy, I've never ever seen it, and I sent it to my friends, and they were like, "Yeah, have you never seen this guy before?" And I was like, "What the fuck? Why has no one ever told me about this?" He is the funniest man in the universe. I could not believe that. Like it was so funny.
But the
Like
shit he's saying is so is great.
it's so good. Like everything. Like even beyond the Drake interview, I watched a bunch of different ones.
Oh yeah.
I saw one with Drewski, and it was like the stuff he just says is like he must ask him a question like, "So you're up and coming?" And Drewski was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "So are you gonna take the R. Kelly route, or are you looking to take like the O.J. Simpson route? What are you thinking?" And then like it was just so funny. It was just so stupid. Like, but it was so funny. I like him. Good shit. I was just binging his channel,
Okay,
but the
I
check
Drake
it
can
out.
interview
check it out.
specifically is great.
Yeah, and on Instagram he puts the whole videos, right?
Yeah, and I didn't know that. When you sent that, I thought it was a snippet, but then I watched the full thing on YouTube.
I just started
which is
watching it.
great.
And I was like, oh, this is. I was like, oh, I like you get so engrossed in it. I was like, this is definitely more than like 2 minutes. Like, what the fuck's happening? And then you sort of like tap on it, and it's at 11 minutes. I'm like, oh fuck, okay, cool. Really interesting, and even just his son. His son obviously is old enough to have that conversation. He's just being such a smart ass, and the kid had no idea what was going on. But Drake handled it well because Drake's a funny cunt. So he had ridiculous answers, and then sometimes you could tell he was like taken by surprise with some of this shit and like didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Which was funny.
I liked it.
Yeah,
it was just great.
Definitely recommend.
It's
So
hilarious.
it's Sunday Conversations, so Sundae with was it Caleb Presley is the guy's name?
Yeah.
So definitely check for that on Instagram. It's funny as fuck. Like really
So
good
good.
shit.
And his son is really like Drake. It's weird because when I remember when he was first revealed because of Pusha T, it was like this guy looks nothing. This kid looks nothing like Drake. He looks weird. Like it looks nothing like. But now it's kind of like when you see him on camera, it's like this guy is literally identical to Drake. It's so weird. Just the mannerisms and stuff. It's so funny.
I'm sure it'll come in even stronger when he gets older and stuff. And I guess
Yeah,
he looks
for
pretty different because he's got like curly blonde hair,
which is hilarious.
Yeah, because I guess he's like
Cornrows too.
yeah. Well, because I guess it works because it's like big, like wide curls. So I guess he's like only went a quarter black, and he's a quarter Jewish, and whatever his mum is, I guess is like French or something. If I'm not mistaken. So like it's an interesting mix of features and ethnicities. So it's gonna be interesting to see what the kid looks like later on.
Yeah, for sure.
But good for Drizzly. Drizzly's coming through. Speaking of Drizzly, then there's a bunch of things that have that are hitting some milestones. So Drake's, if you're reading this, it's too late. Mixtape is now 8 years old. I guess that's from 2015. And we were talking about that earlier. So that if you don't remember, that's one that's got the Know Yourself, Legend, 10 Bands, Energy, all that shit.
Star 67, yes. Great album. I actually like it. Really?
Yeah. It's a great tape.
Not bad.
I really enjoyed that shit. So that's 8 years. Kanye West College Dropout the other day on February 10th was turned 19 years. That was 2004. So 20 years for that next year. So I wonder if they'll do some re-release stuff. That could be pretty cool. Because that's the first major milestone for any of Kanye's personal, like solo stuff. So that's very, very dope. That day was the first day I ever left Australia too. I bought College Dropout from Hawaii. I guess it would have been the day it came out probably. Or the day after. I'm not too sure. But either way, it was in that first within a day or two. That was exciting. Shouts to Ye. 20 years this year. 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Tryin. Very
That's
crazy.
a banger.
Or it already did hit.
Shit.
Yeah. I guess 20 years later,
shit.
is it a classic?
Yeah.
I'd say it's a classic. I think
I would agree.
It holds weight.
I'm not in love with it, but it's a classic. It changed.
Definitely.
I know you have your personal reasons as to why you don't like it, but
I feel like you missed the boat at the time. I didn't love it. I listened to it at the time. It's cool, but it's not like my jam. It's not like my shit. Whereas College Dropout is my shit. Like at the time,
yeah,
shit, like,
wasn't as impactful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I have this little grid of albums that turned 25 this year, which is pretty impressive. Outcast Aquemini. This is all from 1998, by the way, which is a fantastic year. And this is just on
Great
this
year.
grid. I bet we could
Great
find
year.
better ones. Aquemini,
I just
classic.
love that year.
Oh, greatest year of all time, am I right? Fuck.
Best year.
February
We
15th.
bought
Shit.
Incredible.
Big Pun, Capital Punishment.
Mm,
Good shit. Good shit.
DMX, It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
good one.
As well as DMX, Flesh My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. Crazy.
Good.
Ooh.
Nuts.
Right? Redman, Doc's the Name. Doc's the Name 2000, sorry. Gangstar, Moment of Truth. Jay-Z, Volume 2, Hard Knock Life. Very cool. This album here, I'm pretty sure it's Busta Rhymes' Extinction Level Event. There's no writing on it, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I can't really see it from the side. Goody Mob, Still Standing. Black Star, self-titled. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Crazy.
Ooh.
Master P, The Last Don. Juvenile, 400 Degrees. It's crazy. Tribe Called Quest, The Love Movement. Capadonna, The Pillage, and Def Squad, El Nino. So that's a pretty...
Mm.
Once again, this is just one graphic that I found on like Facebook or
5%
something.
fire.
Some pretty crazy ones right there. I mean, even like the Def Squad, I listened to that album a bunch. Yeah, man. I feel like maybe some of the ones we just missed the boat. Like I didn't really get into Goody Mob much or some other shit like that, but
not that much.
I respect them a lot. Pretty fucking cool though. Some pretty serious shit.
Solid year. In my opinion.
Solid year. Dan couldn't think of a better year.
When I was in 98, what was I doing? So much, man. Just so much shit. It was good. It was good shit.
A lot of learning, a lot of
drinking.
Uteruses.
Oh, just don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Hanging out and you know, amniotic fluid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I loved it.
What a beautiful thing.
If I could go back.
Wouldn't you just take... I'll tell you what. Speaking of drip, that was a terrible transition. The brand called MSCHF. You right there, man?
Yeah,
I know, I was trying a little too hard.
Piece of work.
If people remember that brand MSCHF, they did that Satan Nike Air Max 90s from... The
blood in it.
Yeah, with what's the cunt's name? Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X.
So they're just like some ridiculous brand, and they did these boots that look like a scent. They're called the big red boots. They look like Mickey Mouse's shoes, essentially, like these big ridiculous red boots.
They're ridiculously funny.
Yeah, they're pretty funny, but they're for real. And I think they're probably similar material to like the where are they? The foam runners and shit. From what I can tell. There you go. No shot. I'm on Michael Jordan right there.
Beautiful. I remember that game. I remember when he was wearing them for that game. Incredible.
Yeah. Killed it. Dropped 81.
Dropped 81. Incredible.
So, you know, they're making the rounds. It's pretty funny. Cunts are memeing them, and actual people are wearing them. So
Lil Wayne wearing them.
Did he really?
Yeah, I saw Lil Wayne wearing them. Let me see if I can find the picture.
Is it like, do you know if it's anything? You don't even know if anything's legit anymore.
I think it's legit.
Are you certain, Daniel?
You know, just trust me, bro. Trust me.
Are you sure?
Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. I've got it for you. Let's see if we can. There you go. That's Lil Wayne there. There's the boots.
Wow.
Interesting.
Come on, bro. It looks like Noddy. Noddy would wear that.
Fuck.
I know Noddy.
You do? Good.
Yeah, I know Noddy. I grew up in Noddy.
Yeah, because he's British. I forgot about that cunt.
Yeah, don't watch
my
shit.
Fucking swaggy car.
He had a sick car.
Modeled like, you know, they made his car and then they drove it like
people. What was Big Ears was his mate.
Big Ears, yes, true.
Fucking Big Ears cunt.
Big Ears.
Ever see Postman Pat? Dan?
Yeah, I know Postman Pat. I'm very acquainted with Postman Pat.
Have you ever seen on YouTube? There's a explicit Postman Pat. And it's like, you know, kind of a Yorkshire accent or whatever. Really rip it into it. It's so funny, dude. I can't mimic it on the show because it'd be cussed out of all kinds of sensory. But we need to We should put the link to that. If it still exists on YouTube, it's usually
Probably
the
does.
search
Let me
is
find
most of
it.
them bad explicit, but it's like, oh fucking hell! Like it's the funniest shit in the world.
I
You gotta
love
see
that
it.
kind.
Let me see.
Anyway.
Old British shows. I love it.
Oh, you
No, it's
fucking
cool.
twat! Oh, fucking wanker! Like, it's so
Oh yeah,
good.
I'm
So
seeing it. I'm seeing it. It's all here.
It's all here. Oh,
Still
Jazz
there.
love it. Jazz love
Creaming
it.
over it.
but there's a particular one that you have to because there's like a bunch of remakes, but the actual OG one it is roll on the floor. I can't breathe. Funny. It's fucked. It's so good. Like trust me, see.
It's a beautiful thing. I
You know
trust.
the one I'm talking about because
Trust him.
I know you've seen it.
Oh, know it when I see it. I know it when I see it. It's been many years, but
Minute,
I'm sure the lols are heavy in
exquisite.
that bitch. Love it. Okay, good shit. So the other thing, really, if we want to even touch on it, so there, I don't know if I kind of saw it, but I think it happened over the weekend on Friday. There was a big explosion in Ohio on a train, and the train was carrying these extremely dangerous chemicals. So from what I understand, there'd been some issues with either the trains or with the line, and that particular train service, like Norfolk Express or whatever it's called, they have lobbyists in the government that stop them getting the service or whatever the fuck it needed, so that they obviously would have cost them money if they had to fix stuff, so they didn't do it. The trains either detonated or crashed or something like that. And then I believe what happens once those chemicals leaked out, they go into the ground, and apparently it's better to burn them on top of the ground rather than let them soak in. So then the National Guard apparently came in and then set them on fire, and it made like a mushroom cloud. And apparently now that fish are dying, animals are dying. People were evacuated from their homes and then were told it was safe to go back when it isn't, because all that shit is now in the drinking water. And apparently there's something, it's in an area called Palestine, like Palestine, but I think they pronounce it Palestine. And there's it's near the Ohio River. The Ohio River apparently services like 6 different states. So if that river gets poisoned with this stuff, it's a lot of people who can be affected with this. And there's no media is talking about it anywhere, which is extra weird that they're not even discussing it. But if I look on Twitter, it's trending in multiple ways. Like, well, Lake Erie is trending because I think it's around there. Let me see if that's right. Yeah, it is Lake Erie, which is just below here, like right there. The Lake Erie ecosystems in massive danger as long as everyone living in Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and surrounding areas in a 100-mile radius. That's pretty fucked up.
It's pretty mad.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And apparently, I don't want to go conspiracy stuff too much, but some journalist apparently was covering it and got shot during a press conference in the back of the room.
Yeah, another one got arrested and taken away because they were reporting it. Yeah.
So apparently he got, like, they're trying to stop people even talking about it. And they conducted a controlled release of vinyl chloride from 5 train cars after the derailment. It was a derailment to prevent an explosion, but they don't know when it's going to be safe to come back. So it's like Lake Erie is trending, and then I saw like the name of the company, whatever the name of the fucking train company. But anyway, so it's just interesting that this is all happening, and then no one's talking about something like this, which is a pretty like straightforward thing. I don't know what, because I don't know what like why are they keeping it quiet? Like, is it just because the lobbyists don't want them talking about it because it makes the government look bad because they got lobbied to not take action, and then maybe because if it was derailed, maybe that means the train tracks were in bad condition, they need to be fixed, and they were like, nah bro, look the other way, don't worry about that, we don't want to pay for that, don't worry. And then this is on them or some shit. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't think there's anything like particularly sinister that I've seen yet, but like seems pretty straightforward. Someone's saying it's headed to Canada. I live across Niagara River from Buffalo, and the runoff will find its way via Lake Erie. Yeah, so even where we're at, we're on Lake Ontario, but if you drive, it's probably like an hour you can get to Lake Erie. So it's like not far from here. And if it makes its way out across the lake into the ecosystem, like, we're all fucked from this shit. Like, the mushroom cloud is not a joke. Like, it's pretty damn pretty damn serious if you look at this shit. For those who are watching the video, there you go.
That's fucking wild, dude.
Like, it's big. Like this is not insignificant.
Crazy.
Yeah. So like all of this is all pretty serious. Like yeah, the toxicity reached Lake Erie, which provides water for 11 million people. And it also reached Niagara Falls, which provides water for an additional 5 million people. Interesting.
Mad.
So that's pretty fucked up.
There was also the hurricane in Turkey.
Yes, and the not just a hurricane, but like wasn't there like an earthquake or something that
It's like
caused
an earthquake, yeah. And there's this like huge professional footballer who's still missing.
Jesus.
Yeah, and they
Mad people
reported that he
died too.
was mad people died, and they reported that this footballer had been found. And then 2 days later, they were like, "No, it was the wrong guy. It wasn't him."
Wow.
And now he's just like he's missing. So it's a bit fucked. Bit fucked.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up, man. Like I forgot to
Mhm.
see. I guess that happened in the last little week too, or last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So much shit happened.
yeah, that's fucking crazy. Oh, fuck, man. And then on top of that, there was these like the weather balloon things. Now, like the UFOs are trending, so they're saying there's some UFO shit, which I was trying to kind of get the gist on what that's all about. And I don't know if it's just people. I couldn't tell that. I didn't have enough time to look into how much of it was trolling and how much of it was legit. But I know that there was that they were calling it a Chinese weather balloon or something.
Spy
that was
balloon,
spy balloon over
Yeah.
Montana, and then they wouldn't shoot it down or something, and then they ended up shooting it down. And it was just something weird about it or something. Like I didn't really go too deep because maybe because I've been sick, I just wasn't interested in all of this crazy business. But like that's kind of nuts as well that they had all of this all happening. Like, there you go. Look, yeah, Norfolk Southern, and then Ohio's trending. Like a whole bunch of different stuff is trending on Twitter, so people are talking about it. It's just been all of these things have been, I don't know,
There's a lot
strangely
going on.
approached. Yeah, a lot going on in the world, man. So I don't know.
But one thing
Yes,
on a lighter note, LeBron James is now the NBA's all-time goal scorer.
that's a good
Is
one.
it? Or what do you call it? Is it goal scorer?
Points,
Points.
I think.
There you go.
The
Points.
all-time points leader. I have a photo of
He
the.
beat
There you
Kareem
go.
Abdul-Jabbar. Wasn't he the one
Yes.
prior to that? Which is pretty
Yes.
crazy.
And Kareem
correct.
Abdul-Jabbar was there watching him live. It was so funny because there were so many memes because he just never looked happy when he was watching it. He looked so pissed, like stone-faced. It was so funny. But yeah, he's the all-time point scorer now.
I see it. Oh, kind of.
I can see 39,000. That's what I can read.
Yeah, 38,388. Oh,
there
okay,
you
it's
go,
one more than that. Wow. Jordan's
Yeah.
fourth. Oh, Kobe in fourth. That's pretty dope.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
So there you go.
Stuff.
The interesting thing about that is that in that top five, there was nobody else currently playing. Jordan,
Oh,
Kobe,
wow.
Malone, Kareem.
That's right. Oh,
Like-
Dirk Nowitzki is still playing.
What number was he out of 10?
Is he
he's
still
number
playing?
6 out of 7. Or did he retire?
Yeah, I'm sure he's retired. Let me check.
Okay.
Okay, so who's number 7?
I'm keeping out the last name with someone else then.
Who's number 7?
Wilt Chamberlain.
So in the top 7, there's no one even close to LeBron right now.
Yeah.
Jesus. That's fucking
Unreal.
cool, man. Good for him.
There's this funny meme. I want to try and find it. Let me see if I can find it.
Leaps ahead.
Is he the GOAT?
Yes, he is the GOAT. 100%.
Because I heard he said
everything.
I heard he said he's a go to scoring. Oh well, clearly.
That's it.
That's it. I feel like I saw something recently where they were saying they were trying to compare it and they were showing that like he had a ways to go before he was technical. There was a bunch of metrics they used. I really forgot what it was, but showing that he was still better than Michael was still better on multiple levels. I got love for LeBron though. I don't have any problem at all, but that's what they were trying to say. I always think the GOAT conversations are like I was having the GOAT convo with my friend Ryan the other day.
So specific, aren't they?
It's like it's like the impossible unanswerable question. Like
everything's movable, like from both sides. If
100%.
If the question's not right, the answer won't be right. You know what I mean? Like you gotta.
Yeah, and you gotta exactly, and you have to because I was saying that I think we've said this on here before. Like Jay-Z isn't my personal GOAT, but I think he's the GOAT, and I think it's unquestionable. And Ryan was like he didn't think so because he's like, I don't know, I'd listened to so many other artists before Jay-Z. I'm like, yeah, but it's not about what you think, it's about like why he's the GOAT. He was like, why? What about Eminem? Exactly. So I was like, culture, impact, hits, fucking longevity,
how many other rappers emulated him? How many other people
businesses, like flow,
exactly.
like blah blah blah, and like I was like, Eminem's in the conversation, but I still think overall, Jay-Z is the GOAT. But then we're going back and forth a little bit. But I was like, I'd still pretty like aggressively or passionately argue it. But I think the only way anyone can ever be right about it is, like you said, no, just ask the right question. Be like, okay, these 15 things are the metrics. This is number of hits. Okay, do you know what we did? We actually did that a little bit. And he was like, Eminem must have sold more. I'm like, I don't know. Let's go check it. Eminem sold twice as many albums as Jay-Z. Twice as many. Wow. Like, it's like 200 million versus 100 million type shit. Like, very... But I'm like, cool. So that's my metric, where I'm definitely wrong. But like, I think in other ways,
it's hard to. Sales don't necessarily mean anything, in my opinion.
I agree with that, because then it's like, who's the biggest pop artist?
Sales doesn't equal influence all the time.
Yeah,
exactly, and also cultural impact. I was like, Barack Obama was doing the dirt off your shoulder thing, which was Jay's thing. I see you sent the Kareem thing, Dan.
Yeah, you need to see that. It's so funny. Oh my god!
Should I play it for the screen?
Go on if you can.
Yeah, go on.
Hold on.
Beautiful. Oh yeah, nice. Oh nice. It's good quality. Good shit.
Is it playing? It's just spinning, bitch. Come on, let me
wow.
Hold on, you know what?
You haven't even got internet in your house.
No.
I'm opening it.
Imagine having no internet in your house. Oh my god,
dude. Yo, trust me. I'm glad my internet's working because my building is.
What's happening? I'm like in the YouTube app and it won't even play. Maybe you sent me a faulty link.
I'm done.
Yeah, faulty link.
Faulty link.
Faulty link.
I didn't know. I have to watch this later then, because it's been a fuckwit.
An anus cock.
That's interesting.
Either way, Jay-Z's a good.
Yeah, Jay-Z goes hard. He goes hard. But I just some of the things that people say, he's the GOAT because of this. I'm just like, really?
Can I chime in with the topic?
Go
on. There was a post-game NBA interview on court from the Brooklyn Nets, and there was two gentlemen.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, and he got fined. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was the funniest.
So, the commentator, the reporter man's sideline man's was like, talking about I think he was referring to the jerseys, how they looked all nice and everyone looked good. And he said, we have a good looking team, and like something about them all being good looking blokes or whatever. And he said, no homo, after he said that everyone was looking really good. And then the other teammate, like, kind of laughed and turned away, and like everyone, and the reporter says, oh, the guys upstairs will enjoy that, or something to that degree. And then they kept going on the interview, and it was just, so the NBA fined him $40,000 for saying that. LGBTQ community wasn't too keen, and so like, then I saw a couple of things on Twitter. I was like, everyone's like, how could you not use? And I have the same sort of like feelings. Like, how could you not use pause? Like, if you're going to be saying that, you should know that the PC version of that is pause. So like, just don't. And you're on fucking national telly, and usually that goes on around the globe on cable, and people stream it and stuff. So big reach on the NH.
I didn't know pause was a PC version. I thought it was just another synonym, because I didn't think there was even. I didn't know no homo wasn't PC. Like, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, kosher. Like, I imagine that, like, no, so the LGBT community is not fucking with that. Yeah. But it's a part of hip hop. Like, whatever, it is what it is. You gotta understand, cunts only started to be cool with like LGBT cunts like in the last maybe 10 years or something, and being like, it being pretty chill and it being more accepted in whatever on television and just around. the shit that we all used to say as rappers. Like, look at Eminem had the F word, like the anti-gay Tyler, like in choruses and stuff. And look, we've said it here. We used to say it all the time because it didn't mean anything anti-gay. It just meant idiot or whatever. But it's still like we knew what it meant, but we never used it that way. And people say that's not an excuse or whatever. I'm like, cool, no problem. I mean, everyone we knew rocked it that way. Or, I understand it's not, you weren't supposed to say it. But fuck, man, there's all those interviews with like James Harden saying pause in those press conferences, and I don't think he ever got in trouble for that.
Not once.
They are the greatest things, the biggest gift to humanity. They're so fun because he just leans forward and he's like, pause. It's like, it's the greatest shit of all time, bro. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's like if you're ever feeling down, just search for James Harden pause. And
I'm gonna do that and bookmark it for as soon as we're done.
Yeah, and just
keep. So funny.
It's just it's brilliant. And on that note, I guess that's an episode, boys.
Guess that's an episode.
I guess that is indeed. Where can everyone find you online, Daniel?
I Dan Johnson on Instagram and Twitter, and HTFGXMING. I am currently on. Let me just see the amount of followers quickly before I state. Let me just see. I am currently on 1,589. So 11 people need to follow me, so I'm on 1.6. So give me that follow. I'm not gonna follow back, but give me that follow.
Wow, savage. Wow, no love. Wow.
Sorry, guys. I don't follow back anymore. I'm too famous now. There were 1,600 fans, so we're a big community out here.
That's what the fuck I'm saying. Dan's is dominating.
Notion,
mate, man's out here. Can find me on everything at Notion Baby on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Notion MTB on Instagram and YouTube. Subscribe and like and comment and tell me on how shit my first videos are, because I'm learning how to ride a bike again and being awesome at the same time. I got like fucking 6 subscribers overnight. I'm at 85. Let's go.
Man,
that's pretty cool. So at Illnote Studios on Instagram and Facebook, illnotestudios.com, notionbeats.com. Get a dog up here. You're all mad cunts. Fucking stay healthy, drink water, and give your mum a shout. See?
Quick thumbnail, then I'm going to say it. Let's do it.
Oh, thumbnail.
Love it. Y'all can get me CWETMF on Facebook and TikTok, CWFOR on Instagram and Twitter. Fuck yeah, Valentine's Day mixtape drops tonight. By the time you guys see this, the mixtape will be out. TheMovementFamMusic.com. That's where everything is. So it's going to be up there at the very top. You can't miss it. So everyone, thank you for watching and listening. If you enjoyed the episode, smash the flipping thumbs up. Hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell on this bitch.
Ding.
Follow us everywhere at The Movement Fam, including TikTok, and now at Bad Habits Pod on Instagram. That's where we're going to be posting all the news, all the things we're talking about. Stay up on the pod, the clips, like all of that stuff. So, and our fun little TikTok videos and shit we're doing now. We're ramping up, so definitely follow us there. If you are listening on Apple Music or Spotify, chuck us a 5-star rating. That is very, very helpful. Follow us, do all that bullshit. It means a lot. And we will see y'all sexy motherfuckers next week. Get a dog up here.
Pause.
Woof. Pause. See? Listen to Dan.
Pause.
Pause.
Yeah, take the pause away. Get the dog through ya.
Pause.
Yeah,
Dog's got pause.
Get the dog through ya.
Dog's got pause. Dog's got pause, Daniel. Daniel's got pause. Cool. All right, y'all. Get a
Peace.
dog up, y'all.
Catch a